Greetings, listeners and viewers. Your host for the night, Zach, here, introducing you to The Call of Cthulhu podcast by Twisted Gears Studios. For those new to our show or just catching up on the audio episodes, our video episodes now air at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on YouTube, with live chat with various members of the cast, before going up on all our audio services 1 hour later. So if you want to react live with the community as the episode airs, YouTube is the place. Don't forget to visit our website for merch and our Ko-fi page, where for each coffee you donate, a luck point is added to a pool where the keeper gets to use this to top off our luck at the top of each session. So, if you donate enough copies for all of us, Derek gets a dice to mess with us, so there's that. But for now...
Last we left our investigators, the investigators delved deeper into the lodge. Separated, Marion has come across an old friend. Perhaps shortly, if she's not careful, more unexpected guests.
Hello there.
One day I'm gonna get you a smoking jacket with a pipe, and you're just gonna be like, "Hello."
Hello there.
With a pipe.
I got one. It's got. We're in Canada, so it's a kid. I got one with weed in it.
We need to get a pipe that I can blow bubbles.
I don't got one of those. I just got
dollar
strawberry milk flavored marijuana in a pipe.
I have bubble stuff.
Okay. So.
I'm not putting bubble juice in my pipe.
Okay. So it's been a little while since we last played, but I have the updated list of all the dice I get to use to fuck you with, which is great. I also have the luck pool as well. So I'm going to start off this episode like we have the last few and go over luck.
Sweet.
Agatha, played by the wonderful Lindsay.
Thank you. Sure. Yes.
This is weird.
Take the compliment.
I can't. Anyway, it's fine.
No, it's fine. What is your luck currently at?
69.
Nice.
We love a 69. Math joke.
That's done. No, it's not.
I would say,
sweet
like I
innocent
said, I
thing.
don't want to give out luck that'll go above 75
Okay.
to start. So you can give yourself 6 luck. So away from 69 to 75.
Aw, lame.
What is your luck at, Amos? Played by Zach.
75.
75. You're good.
Yep.
You're good.
I just drank last session. I didn't need to burn luck for anything.
Not yet.
Wait till the pincushion man shows the fuck up.
Agatha. Played by Janessa.
No, Agatha's played by Lindsay.
How dare you?
Althea.
Rude. My credit rating is 58.
It should be significantly higher. But
I'm at 71 because I didn't burn.
yeah, give yourself 4 luck.
When I should have.
And Marion, what's your luck at?
Also at 75. So
Okay, so I only had to give out 10 luck.
Okay, we really got a bird luck.
I need
Straight up.
So it's
We should put a little counter up so that we can... Actually, we should have a little counter up so we can see. I'm going to think on that.
I was also...
recording. No, I'm committed.
Thankfully, you're the one who edits shit.
Just making more work for myself. It's fine.
I also was running through a couple of ideas because of how much luck is built up. Because I can't make everyone's luck 100.
Not
That makes no
Yeah,
sense.
that
I mean,
I think 75 is a fair gap, but it's up to you all to burn it. Okay? But I was also thinking it might be interesting to use this luck pool as sort of a resource, and might toy with it a little bit. For example, being able to spend a pool for something to happen, or even to buy a bonus die from the pot of luck.
oh, okay.
Right? Stuff like that.
So would that start the next session? We're not going to do that now.
We might do it now, we'll see.
Okay.
If I say, hey, did you want to do this? Decisions will be made.
Okay. Sounds good.
Because I also have a pile of penalty dies to give out. Oh, the only caveat to that, of course, would be if I give you a penalty die in a roll, you can't rule it out with a bonus die.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean by a bot, because that defeats the purpose of...
But we can burn luck on those checks, right?
Depending on the check, yes.
Defeats the purpose of him fucking us over.
I don't like when he says depending on the check. It implies that when I want to use it, it would be like, no, you got fucked. Literally.
Yeah, so that should be the luck for now, and all I really have to say about it is, just burn more luck as it comes up if you want to. People have paid money to give you the luck to be successul at checks.
Yeah. Pool is huge.
Thank you, people.
Ooge! It's a ooge!
Thanks. There's so much.
And I have a pile of die that I can give out depending on the situation.
Yeah, I know just how many dice we're fucked.
Yeah.
You thought we had a lot of luck to pull from? We're all gonna die.
We'll see. So I believe I had Lindsay, the person who plays Agatha, to write down a note last game. What was the note again?
The note was remind Derek to start with Marion.
Okay, so Marion.
Bye, Marion.
So the last thing I saw was the porcupine man behind a glass case.
Pincushion man!
Porcupine man.
Pincushion man. Pincushion man. Okay.
Porcupine man. That's just ridiculous.
Makes no sense.
She does though.
Pinned up like a bug on a board and partially dissected, and then he moved.
Yeah, so there's the body slightly shakes, so a movement which makes you step back and go, ah. What is this? This is crazy. No. I'm just a bad actor. Okay, so
Stepping back, I dropped the curtain.
yeah. Oh, okay. Stepping back, just as you step back and you drop the curtain. Okay, can you roll me a listen check though for me really quick?
Yes.
Well, it's not really quick. I mean, just roll it. Like,
What is my listen anyways? I don't want to burn that much luck. 69 out of 40.
69 out of 40. Okay, done.
Still, that's a good first roll. Good omens.
The pattern persists.
This tracks.
I'm gonna leave the room and close the door behind me.
Okay, so you
Just leave.
step out of the room. Just as you get to the door, can you roll me a spot hidden really quick?
Hate that.
I should just have my dice ready. Why don't I just have my dice ready? That would be smart.
It's okay.
67 out of 69.
Nice.
That's another 69 in there. That is a
69
success.
Good omens, man.
Good show.
Put a tick in spot hidden. Very luckily, because failing the listen check, it's very useful that you've made the spot hidden check. Because just as you go to the door, okay, and you're just about to step out, you catch movement from further up the hall.
Ooh.
I need to roll a check really quick here.
Oh my god.
Luckily, the person has not seen you.
Whew.
As you just casually look down the hall, and around 20 feet down the hall, you see a figure in robes and a porcelain mask on, just walking down the hall toward you. What would you like to do?
I'm going to. How close are the curtains to the wall? On either side, they're like flush right up against the walls, right? Where
Yeah,
the
on
disturbing
the
paintings
left
are?
and right.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know if there's a painting on the other side.
That's true. I've been assuming.
Yeah, there was the barren, cracked wasteland with too many holes, and it was just like, it's just weird. There's too many holes
And
there.
so the curtain by the
Was more arched outward, yes.
But is it arched outwards because it was flush with the glass case, and the glass case was round, or
Well-
it was flushed outwards, like have a gap between the curtain and the case?
Oh no, there's just the slightest of gap between the front of the curtain, but because it's arched out on the sides of the case, there's space there.
Okay, So the guy, the person in robes is walking towards me.
Yes, to the point where 3 becomes a 2. Yes, what would you like to
I'm going
do?
to duck into the gap between the curtain and the case.
Fair enough. In you go.
And trying to move the curtain as little as possible. as I do so.
Stealth check.
That's what I assumed.
Those curtains went all the way to the floor, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if I didn't specify, they do fully cover.
34 out of 47.
You are good at stealth. I'm taking stealth. As you're like, whoosh, like the wind.
I am the night.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, are you going to be trying to look out of the curtain to see what happens? Otherwise, you're just going to be... You're not going to be able to see. Are you going to attempt to peek out as well? I'll allow
Absolutely.
that. I will allow that to fall under that stealth check because that sort of makes sense.
Cool.
I'll be like, I don't want to have you keep rolling stealth till you fail. Stealth again. Keep failing. This isn't Amos fighting goal in the alleyway. Constitution checks.
Well, now I know.
Right? Just roll it. What? Why aren't you failing?
I've had a lot of years practicing with alcohol.
Yeah, you came out the other end well in the alleyway. Okay, fair enough.
No.
So you tuck in behind the case. Now there is no need for a listen check
Oh.
for this. You hear, now it's dark in here, like behind the curtain. You hear like a weird, almost like a plopping sound.
From the hallway?
No, from the
God.
glass container. Almost like something wet. Like that, and the sound is coming from like the bottom of the case, almost like something falling and hitting the bottom of the case from inside the case.
I'm going to look.
It's dark.
Oh no!
It's dark in there.
can't
You do have your bitty
I was gonna
flashlight.
say, she's usually the one with the flash.
The curtains seem pretty thick, but you can roll me a luck roll to see if they're thick enough to hide the light.
I'm first going to listen to see if I can hear the footsteps of the person coming down the hallway.
Okay, I'm not going to call for a listen check
Okay.
because you're aware
Yeah.
and that this person is not trying to be stealthy. You hear the footsteps get closer to the doorway and then clearly stop at the doorway.
Then I am going to roll that luck check to see if the curtain is heavy enough to hide my flashlight. 64 out of 75.
That's true. You gave them so much luck.
Do you know how many penalty dice you have?
Yeah, I know. I never thought about it. Well, I mean, come on. I wouldn't give a penalty die in a luck roll. I should have did it for the stealth roll. But regardless, luck roll's enough. Yeah, it seems thick enough, and it's almost flush. There may be a little light that comes out the top, but the light's on in the room.
Yeah.
So it is lucky enough. These are thick curtains. They're, you know what I mean? That light would not shine through if you turn on your little mag light.
Okay.
You're the only one with one of those. You and Simon.
True. That's true.
I was gonna say it.
I'm going to turn it on and...
Oh,
take
sorry,
a
I can't say mag light. No.
It's 1923.
Oh, I meant that as a description of it. It's a small flashlight that probably shouldn't exist in this time period, but Marion gets one. Hashtag Team Marion. And Simon has one too because, you know.
Keeper's
Simon.
favorite.
Hashtag drunk Simon.
I mean,
if
I'm
you know,
sorry,
you know.
but why? That makes sense.
Yeah.
With the
So
stuff
you
we
shine the
told you.
light. Okay. So a couple of things are going to happen at once. First, I'm going to need a sanity check. Again. Because you're going to see something that I'm going to describe when we see what you roll.
It's taking a shit.
Hey,
That's how I'm imagining
you said
this.
plop.
Yep, he's a plop.
That'd be the best case scenario.
77 out of 57.
Why did I
you-
get you that mug?
Can you earn luck on sanity checks?
You're not supposed to, no. I will double check, but I'll just quickly double check. Play amongst yourselves.
Ah!
Yeah, you by yourself,
I'm
man.
by myself.
Well,
We're
actually,
just
it's
drinking at
easier
a bar.
So what?
No, I'm not drinking. I'm being responsible. Watching the two of you.
See the
about to drink
craziness
at the
that
bar.
is this place? Drinking is responsibility.
Actually, it's true. You want to
We're
blend
drinking
in.
responsibly.
At least you're drinking.
Don't listen.
At least you're drinking somebody
Viewers.
else's liquor.
No, you're blending in. You're making sure that the crowd, that no one notices that you don't belong there.
Woman. Lifting up mask bad. even though on the outside you look like a woman, apparently.
He's got the best disguise out of all of you.
That's
he's
true.
gonna be
He doesn't
invisible.
look like Amos.
Yeah, because he looks nothing like Amos. We're assuming.
This
I
is
don't
true.
know.
I got nothing.
I don't want to risk putting up my mask and someone seeing me.
That's fair.
That's just.
I briefly
Well, you're
forgot
a
about
wanted criminal.
misogyny, sorry.
What did you just say?
I said I briefly forgot about misogyny.
That's gotta be a quote somewhere.
I briefly forgot about misogyny.
Alright,
I gotta
okay.
write that down.
Next round of merch, we're gonna have to get a T-shirt with that on it.
I shouldn't be too much longer here.
Ready to-
Right.
My God.
Oh, that's forever now. That's awesome.
That's good.
The other thing is too is I don't want people to see my missing eye. That's the other thing as well. That's why I'm
Yeah.
refraining from lifting it up as
That is
much as
fair.
possible.
You don't want to be described.
You don't want them to have to look into the deep dark void.
Oh my god.
Please go to page 3. Please go to page 200. Please go to page 150. Is this what's going
Did you
on?
ever get a textbook with that joke in it? Like that people do. They
Yes,
write that. Yeah.
100%. Did you ever? I've seen one. Okay, it wasn't in a textbook. It was in a bathroom, and I totally got suckered in. And it said on one side it says, "Play bathroom tennis. Look to the left." You go look, or so look to the right. You go look over to the right, and it says, "Okay, look to the left. Look to the right." Like, brilliant.
Okay, so just to clarify again, luck points may not be spent on luck rolls, damage rolls, sanity rolls, or rolls to determine the amount of sanity points lost. A player may spend any amount of luck points up to the current luck value on a roll. You can only spend luck to alter one of your own dice rolls. When a skill roll is failed, the player has the option to push the roll or spend luck. Yeah,
We almost never push rolls.
yeah, that's something to.
Horrible concept.
I think it's because there's so many large gaps in between. By the way, that is a failed sandy roll.
Yep.
I need you to roll me a d6 again. Once again, it's going to be a d3.
It's a
You
6.
lose 3. You've lost 4 so far
Yep.
in the Silver Twilight Lodge.
Yep.
Marion's heading for collapse.
And remind me again, what is bad? What is the amount that is
At
bad?
5, at losing 5 luck, right?
Okay.
Sanity.
Oh, sorry, losing 5. Yeah, 5 luck, you'd all be insane. Losing 5 sanity in like,
Single event.
or no, just in a short period of time.
Yeah. Instance.
Causes a bout of madness.
I should have remembered that. But yes, okay, all right. I just wanted to remember.
But if you lose 20,
Mental
It-
break.
it could cause a permanent damaging effect. The reason it's freaking out to you is you shine the light, and it looks like. Remember, I said there was the snake's tooths has been removed, and there's still like holes there, and there's the flaps crawling out of the holes in the flaps, and like dripping from the body and out of the side of the head are very small slugs.
Oh!
And they're dripping down and just falling down to the bottom. And you notice, because you haven't really looked, but in the bottom of this container, it's like slightly grooved down. And there's a little hole. And there's a basin under it that's catching them. But the moment you turn the light on them, as you're looking at the slugs, you see, and this is what the sandy check was for, each of these little slugs, they start bubbling slightly. And they start mimicking your face. There's these little tiny mimicked Marion's faces. And they're just like this weird keening noise is coming from them. Not super loud, but just this slight, you can just hear it muffled inside. And they all look like you, and
I too have watched Evangelion.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, you like it.
There's probably 30 or 40 little tiny, almost Marion faces in varying degrees of it looks like pain or trauma, like the distorted. Yeah. You do.
I share a home with you.
Whose choice was that?
You do recall that the last time you had seen this was when a slug had left the burnt body and got into the staff wing, into the staff dining room, and created a monster that also mimicked you.
Yeah, that's right. They like to mimic me. I don't like that about them.
Yeah.
I don't like most things about them, but that in particular.
Yeah.
Some things I don't like about them. Copying me in particular.
I mean,
That's a grievous offense.
that just makes it personal. Yeah, I'm going to turn the light off on the assumption that is probably wrong, that the light is making them do that.
Could I also have you roll me a willpower check as you turn the light off? Mainly because, and I'll tell you what I'm calling for this for, okay? I'm calling for this for the idea of you being silent and not going, ah!
Yep.
Not loud, but like making a noise,
Audible
making
gasp.
a reaction, an audible gasp. I'm going to call for a willpower roll. I am going to stop you for a second and go to my list of penalty dice.
I saw that coming from a mile away.
I was hoping to be able to use luck on this, but now I can't.
You can.
Yeah, you can.
You can.
Not,
You
if
can
not if he gives me a penalty die.
Yeah, you can.
Ooh.
Yeah, I will allow it. I'm not even going to look it up. I will allow it, yeah. And I'm going to go to I'm trying to find a name I haven't used yet. And am I pronouncing this correctly? Josiah? Is that how?
Was it more of an S than a Z? We've had this conversation.
Yes.
Him and I.
Josiah?
Josiah?
Josiah.
Josiah.
Like sigh in the middle.
Sigh. Josiah.
We still might be pronouncing it wrong.
Raphael!
We're fucking Canadian. I don't know.
I'm doing my best here. I'm bad at accents as well. So at Josiah, maybe too much of an inflection, you just gave Marion a penalty die. How could you? How could you do this
Rat
to
bastard.
her? Hashtag Team Marion. Clearly we know what side you're on. Harumph.
Oh, rump. We're making jokes, and she's about to die.
Yeah, hit that penalty die. You're an asshole. I didn't do it, he did.
Don't spray water all over the equipment, please. Please. What's that face? What's happening to you?
Oh my god, that is an actual...
It's a success either way.
It is an exceptional roll. A 15% or a 35%, so she'll take the 35.
Here.
I'm glad it didn't work out. How could you?
Marion's just like, get wrecked, Josiah.
We're trying to have a happy, fun game here
is this?
with Apollo slugs with Marion's face. And you waltz on in here.
Can't record.
Okay. No, should you use 16 on your willpower?
Yeah.
Great job. What is your willpower, by the way?
65.
Okay, so not bad.
4 paints away from greatness.
You managed to keep quiet and just nonchalantly just click off the light, because of course it goes away then.
If I can't see it, there's not a base and a tiny slugs there.
Yeah, so it seems like, just to clarify that a bit more, there's a little hole. The basin isn't like open to the floor. It's just goes in, and then the bottom, still within the enclosure, is the basin. Just to clarify. They're not like,
Still fucked up.
Yeah.
oh, it's disgusting.
Oh no, but I'm glad that there's no way they can get out. That's
As far as we
I never said there was no way they could get out. No! I just said, it doesn't seem like they could get
I'll
out.
not talk anymore.
Correct.
I need more fuel for the fire.
This is.
I don't know what this is, but
Get back to killing us.
Yeah.
hey, we're having fun. Okay, so now you manage to stifle a gasp as you hear a voice. Okay? The voice does sound slightly familiar to you, but you can't quite place it. Okay?
Okay.
And you hear a voice go, "What's up? Why is the door open?" And you hear the footsteps of somebody slightly walking into the room. And then nothing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now, you were going to attempt peeking out. Mm-hmm. And like I said, we can fall under the stealth check that you had before. I do get to roll a spot hidden.
Yep.
Opposed. Although I'll need to... Yeah, anyway. I'll roll it and then I'll explain, because we'll see. Okay. Fair enough. So what happens is...
Oh no.
As you sort of peek out, you just see a figure with one of those porcelain masks on, just standing there with the robe on, the full regalia. And as you sort of peek out and see that person, you see the head sort of turn, and it almost looks like they're looking directly at you.
I don't move at all. I just freeze.
Okay. And then the figure is just, and now, because you can see the eyes behind. The figure's just standing there looking. And just very still. Standing very still for a couple of minutes. Just, is there anything you're going to do in that time other than just being as quiet and still as possible? They don't seem to be walking towards you.
Yeah, I feel like the slightest movement could move the curtain, and I don't want to do that, so I'm
Fair
just
enough.
going to be as still as possible.
Fair
That's so
enough.
creepy, though.
Fair enough.
Yes, it
You
is.
stand
It's a
quietly
silver
and look
twilight lodge. Surprised it hasn't been creepier.
That isn't the creepiest thing in this room. Nope.
Okay. At this point, I need you to roll me. You don't need to roll it, actually. You don't need to make a roll for this. As that figure's standing there, after a couple of minutes, it takes a step forward toward the curtain. Okay? And then you see somebody else in the doorway. Sort of just sidled is the word I'll use. Very thin, very tall. You see the figure with a beaten up top hat. And he sort of just sidles his face around the door, moving ever so quietly. And he seems to be sneaking into the room up to the figure that's walking toward you. Okay? I need you...
Are they also wearing a mask?
No. No,
Okay.
you see Goal, and it's Goal, and he's got, the clothes that, it's not bought in a store, it's almost, handmade, and he has this vest on, and he has got this top hat. It just seems so out of place here. One thing you do notice, though, he's moving super quietly, right? And you see him with his hand by his side, and you can see what looks to be almost like a little tool belt along his side, and you can see, various cutting implements in there. And it seems like he's reaching in for one as he's slowly walking toward this figure. I need you to roll me a luck roll.
Jesus Christ, I'm afraid to breathe.
And
Are you doing it?
if you wish, instead of rolling the luck roll, I'm just throwing this out there because I need to make use of this, and it's going to be for use for benefit of the characters. That's what people are paying for.
Yeah.
You can burn 50 luck from the pool. I know it's a lot, because what this luck roll is if Goal gets to the figure before it opens the curtain. So you can pull a luck roll, and I don't know if this is in the spirit of what people gave for, but I'm not going to let you roll and then decide if you fail. You
Yeah.
choose to roll or burn the 50, because this is a big one.
I'm opening it up to the group for opinions. Should I do
You
it?
can vote on it, because it's a
Burn
group
the
thing.
50! You want a chance? Die it? Okay. If he opens the curtain, he don't stab you. Goal will.
Yeah. I'm on Zach's side. I just
My
wanted to
chaotic
also throw
self
it up to the
says
group.
no. I'm sorry.
There's something fundamentally wrong with you.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, we got rid of that, didn't we? The book? You touched
No, I think he's talking about Lindsay.
Yeah, not ripping Lindsay's eye out.
No, you can discuss it as a group, because
I'm
that
with-
is a large chunk.
I'm with Zach/Amos on this one. Burn the luck.
Burn the luck.
Oh, no, I knew I was going to be outvoted. I'm
Just
just saying.
because I want to know what Gaul does, even though I'm not there. I want to know what Gaul does, and then I want him to sneak out into the building
I
somewhere
want to know
else.
what Gaul does. Not at the expense of Marion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if Marion dies, we never see what happens to Gaul because no one's watching.
Spend the luck.
Yeah,
Spend
I'm spending
good.
the luck.
Yeah, because, let's be honest, I'm not going to say the amount, but I have a plethora of luck in the pool, and we're actually at the Silver Twilight Lodge, and I feel this is in the spirit of it. is a good way to use it.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay? Let people, at some point, years later when this comes out.
Years later.
They don't know all the stuff.
Actually, because I'll probably be watching on YouTube for the live showing when this one does come out, and then if anyone could put down what they feel about that, by that point this will probably be done, and too bad. No, I don't mean it like that. I'm saying it in a nice way. Okay, but anyway, you burn the 50 luck.
Yep.
You just straight up burn the 50 luck. And what happens is, and it really does surprise you because Gall is Gall.
The gall of him.
I just asked Lindsay, the player. I'm just going to say Agatha. I'm just going to use your character name, Agatha. That because Agatha created Gall in her backstory for her character.
You fucked up, man.
And I just took it and ran with it. Okay.
Amos appreciates you.
I love it so much.
They're like best friends, Agatha and Amos. They are. 8 Ball Club forever.
Oh, I love it.
Okay, so anyway, I'm just going to get to this as because of that burn, just as the figure's reaching toward the curtain, and you're just glancing out, and you see Gall just so quietly. He is not making a noise. And he's just so lanky. And it seems to you like predator and prey. Gall even bares his teeth as he gets close, and as quick, like so quick that you can imagine. You thought he was reaching for a scalpel, but it's not really a scalpel. It looks to be... Roll me a first aid or medicine check, whichever you would prefer.
First aid, because I have that. I don't have any medicine. 95 out of 44.
Okay, so 96 to 100 is a...
Yeah.
But anyway, it's almost it seems to you like a large scalpel. Is what it seems to you. You know what I mean? It just seems that same type of sheen of a blade, the same curve of it, just larger. Okay? And reaches forward, super quick, hand over the mask. Pulls the head back. Okay? Doesn't cut the throat. Digs it into the... I'm actually going to roll, though. I shouldn't... Even though it's an NPC versus NPC... Pushes it. It's super quick. Pushes it, stabs it in through here, and then rips out.
Oh. Yeah.
There's not even a scream, a
So
gurgle.
just like trachea gone.
Yeah, just... And this blood just sprays forward all over the curtain. Few drops hit your... Can you roll me another luck roll? I want to see if you get some in your eye.
Ooh.
I'm not saying that makes a difference.
11.
Yeah. So you're just like, blink. You can feel something
let's do
red
what they're
just
meant
hit
to
you.
do.
And then very quickly, and it's very... as he does that and cuts it, he doesn't drop the body. It's almost like he hugs it. And with his legs sort of... almost like a spider, just wraps and pushes it down pushes the body down to... Oh, sorry, I'm leaning in too far. Pushes the body down to the ground. Okay? And it's just... And the top hat doesn't move. He's like Frosty the Snowman. Christmas reference!
So if we take the hat, he ducks.
Puddle. And he's just held him there for maybe, as you're holding your breath, maybe for 5 or 10 seconds, just holds him down there in the ground. You can see the blood pooling onto the tiles. And then he just sort of takes his hand to the back of the head and like pushes the head into the tile as he stands himself up. And he sort of just wipes the knife on his pants and slots it back in. And he's just standing there, and he's sort of just looking around the room. He does look a little bit confused. I don't know. Have you ever been up close with Gall?
No.
You? Or is it just... Now, you would recognize him from, of course, the description would have been talked
I've
about.
seen him
running
away.
Yeah.
I've seen his picture, and I've heard him describe.
Yeah, so you can.
But I've not been up close with him the way that like Amos or Agatha have.
So as he's pushing on the head, and he's using the head to push, and you can hear a slight crack too as he's push. I'm sorry, everyone, if this is like.
Nope.
But he pushes,
Good.
and he's almost a bit bandy-legged as he says his legs are to the side and melt, and then he just stands up straight. So he looked so feral, bringing down the body, and you can see that expression go away as he's standing up, and he looks slightly confused. But you haven't been around Gull enough to realize that's basically his face. He always seems a little bit, awkward, right? Especially after he just did that. And then he goes over to the door and he closes it. As I'm going to move on to everyone else.
All right.
Now,
God!
Everything's fine.
Quick question.
It's on fire and it's fine.
I know the way my mind works is a bit off. That wasn't like too much, was it?
Honestly, the slugs really freaked me out, but the Gull thing, it was good description, but I don't feel as uncomfortable as I did with the faces on the slugs.
Okay.
So we're going to go back to everyone else. As far as I recall, and this is how it's going to be, you were all into that sort of, like a conference room, like a bar room. There's a bar on one end, and there's a little stage with a band on the other end that were tuning their instruments. And there was people showing up, and there was only like a half a dozen or a little bit more people, and they're sort of, you see their faces as they're walked through this room, which is weird, into that side room that's set up so that they're given a mask. You'd figure it would have been done, but no, they're just walked through. The more you think about it, the three of you, the people that are coming in, especially with the Althea noticing they're mostly the business that she's familiar with in town, like business people. It really doesn't seem to you three that that they know what the fuck's on the go. They're acting like it's
A regular party.
just like a regular party or social event or stuff like that. There's nobody that's really coming across. Well, they're a bit creepy because, rich businessmen. Come on. Okay, I shouldn't have did that. But yeah, just maybe it just seems like if they are, it's a bit of a stretch. But at this point, I believe it was Simon was over on one end of the bar, right? And he had his mask just up around his nose, and he was drinking. Amos had a drink.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming you have one of the porcelain masks on, not the wooden ones. Because you had one of each with you.
Yeah, I think you did porcelain first.
Did I
because
start
you
with
didn't-
porcelain?
Yeah.
I think it started with porcelain.
Yeah, but you have you have the wooden
Yes,
mask.
I do. Yeah.
Okay. And Agatha is also there.
Yes.
Right? So the three of you are sort of at one end of the bar. Althea had just finished serving, I believe, fancy caviar and stuff, and to the 6 or 5 or 6 business
And I was
people
very
that are
charming.
Yeah, that's not really your strong suit.
No.
No. But you did see on the other end of a bar, there's a figure with a mask on, right?
Yeah.
That's sort of sitting at the end of the bar. That's also sort of twirling a drink, but it's just sitting at that end by themselves. And I believe that's where we ended it last time, as you were looking over there when I went to Marion, and Marion gets to deal with all this stuff.
Poor thing.
Now, before I move to whatever you're doing at this moment, did you want to go up to that figure at the other end of the bar?
Yeah, like I'm just here. There's not many people here to offer hors d'oeuvres to, so I went to the group, and then I was going to go to that person, and wander around to everyone like I'm supposed to. Basically. I think.
Okay, so you walk on up, and the rest, you're going to see this because it's a fairly long bar, but it's the other end of the bar. You see Althea walk up to a lone figure who's at that end of the bar. The mask sort of turns and looks at you. You notice that at this moment, at least, the mask isn't up, but they are holding a drink.
Crackers and caviar. No eye contact. Crackers and caviar.
Could you roll me? Can I see your sheet, Marion? I'm just
See what the stats are, or not the stats, the options.
I just want to see what would be the best way to do this. Could you just roll me an idea roll?
80 out of 70.
80 out of 70?
Can you burn luck on an idea?
Yeah,
Do
you
you
can.
want to?
Oh, yeah. Burn luck on an idea. Let's burn 10.
You burn that 10 luck. The voice that comes back sounds slightly familiar. You can't really place it, but it's sort of... It just sounds like almost a familiar voice is the only way I can put it. It's just, it's just this in the back of your brain. It's just like, this person slightly sounds familiar. As the figure sort of... And you're looking down, but you still have peripheral vision. You know, even if looking down, you can tell if somebody... The figure doesn't really look at you. Like, it's just sort of there holding a drink. And it just... And the figure just says, no thanks. And he just puts his hand up and he... Like, motions you away.
They twitch a little.
Very dismissively.
Yeah, that's...
Very dismissively.
How far away is the end of the bar from Simon and I?
At least 20 feet. It's almost that full length of that.
Oh, Jesus.
It's fairly large. You can see it, but...
A listen check would be out of the question.
Yeah, he doesn't say it very loud.
Yeah,
like, you hear it, but
okay.
not... You need to be sort of maybe a bit closer.
Is it close enough? I don't know what the roll would be, I guess, but to see if when he's motioning, is there anything recognizable, like jewelry on the wrist, markings, scarring, anything like that? Possibly.
Spot hidden.
Okay.
I'll allow a spot hidden for that.
You got this. Use your rolling tray.
65 out of 69.
But a tick and spot hidden, you might
Good
be looking to
omens.
increase that. Okay. You do notice that the hand that sort of waves, there is definitely scarring around the hand. Almost like burn scars. Almost like burn scars over the... You know what I mean? Like, that's what it looks like. Scars from a burn of some sort over the back of the hand. I'm not even... Actually, since it's been brought up, I'm not even going to... Althea, you don't need to roll a spot hidden. You just see it. Now that it's been brought up, but you know what I mean? You just see that there's burn marks.
Okay.
It does almost also look like workmen's hands. You know what I mean? Like, it's calloused.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't a... Whereas when you were with the business group, very, you know, moisturized,
Girly.
soft, haven't did a day of work in their entire life. That's what they pay other people to do, minimally.
If they pay them at all, if they do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sort of what you see.
Take note of that and twitch and grind my teeth a little because I already had this thing about like gentlemen's clubs, richer than all the rest of you. And the only other people here, I'm assuming, are the people I came with. So.
Well, there's other people here, and you do recognize them. Like, I mean, the business people and stuff.
No, but so when I was here originally, there was like the group who were standing together that I approached first, and then there was the lone figure at one end of the bar.
Oh, yes, okay, fair enough.
And then at the other end of the bar was Simon, Amos, and Agatha.
Yeah. So as you go up, all of you in this room now also notice that now, at this point, there is more of a steady stream of more people coming in, crossing the room. And once again, they all look like distinguished members of the community in one way, shape, or form.
Okay.
Yeah. You don't see any clergy, but it's all like...
That makes sense.
Right, because at this time period,
Yeah.
clergy would also be, you know,
Yeah.
important members of the community.
Yes.
Has the mayor showed up? Just out of curiosity.
No.
Interesting.
No. There are political elements there. Of course, you have the Herbert A. Wilson, the Commissioner of Police, and stuff like that. But you don't see the mayor.
Interesting.
Can I ask a couple of questions standing in my corner? Oh,
Sure. Yeah. No. I mean, yeah. Sorry. Yes.
Yes, I'm just gonna mostly do. So while sitting here, kind of with this drink, I'm gonna be looking around. So there's the hallway with the 2 doors that we came in from.
Okay, so yes.
Right?
So
well, it's like a T intersection hallway where there was the 2 doors.
yeah, so basically what it is I'll just because it's been a little bit, of course. So where the bar is,
Yeah.
so the bar's on one end of the room, the band's at the other end of the room.
Yeah.
Okay. Now there was the door here, closer, just behind you on the bar, just 10 or 15 feet, that led to that storage room where everyone's being brought in to put on their robes and put on their masks. And behind that is the back door.
Yeah,
There's
don't you worry about that. That's
and then a little bit further up, like let's say 10 or 15 feet further up, there's the swing doors that connects to the hallway that goes to the kitchen.
Yeah, okay.
So that's on the same side.
Perfect. That's what I thought. What other entrances are there in this place?
Okay. So directly opposite this side, where the entrance from the kitchen, is another double swing doors.
Okay.
Directly opposite the room, where all these people are coming in from.
Oh, I
Which
see.
seems to be in the direction of what you would consider to be the reception area or the entrance to the house.
And these people coming in through that door are unmasked?
They come in like suits and stuff,
and then they go across into the other room and come back with a suit, with a mask. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Which is weird. Because you'd figure,
Yeah.
why wouldn't they do that at the door?
Are there other doors?
In this room? Spot hidden. For sure. A spot hidden check. Yeah.
The 40 out of 73.
Yeah, it's you notice weirdly as you're looking around for you don't see any other doors per se. But you notice on the ceiling in the center room, and it's the ceiling in these older style, it's not like stucco or anything, but they're like designed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like designed, and there's circles, and there's there's lights hanging down from the center. It's of course electricity. And there's lights and chandeliers. There's chandeliers and stuff hanging down. But when you look up almost dead center in the room, you can see almost a rough outline of like a trapdoor. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
You see the
like that
rough
at all.
outline.
Okay.
No, just because you brought it up.
That's
You do see that.
terrible to know.
Yeah.
Not great. Okay. Any other entrances, exits, doors?
Doesn't seem to be. That's a lie. Sorry. Where the band is, in that little podium, just down off the podium, there's another door there near the band.
Okay.
On that far end. Yeah, that would be it.
Other than service staff and people coming in before they are donned, is there anyone else that doesn't seem to be wearing a mask and robe?
The band aren't?
Interesting.
Yeah, the band isn't wearing.
And are there any doors that seem to have either... I'm looking for either zero or as little as possible staff going through. Which door has the least amount of people without masks going through?
Okay, so.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so without masks, the main one would be the kitchen staff that way, because everyone who walked in, which would be Althea and Marion, and I believe it was Betty. I believe Betty was the other lady. The staff aren't wearing masks and stuff, so there's been nobody in masks came out of those doors. It was only the staff.
People without masks have only been going through those doors? Besides guests going to get passed up in the other door? Basically, I'm trying to figure out what doors have the most staff access. And what doors have the least staff access.
Okay, so that double door on the left-hand side has so far only been staff. People, the opposite door, everyone walks in with nothing, goes over, gets geared up, comes here. Okay.
That's been only guests, no staff.
Yeah, that's only been guests, no staff, yeah.
And you've got you're regaliaed up, right?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna flag down a waiter to bring over some hors d'oeuvres real quick.
Okay.
And is there anyone like within our vicinity besides our immediate group?
I would say no at the moment, although there is nobody seems to be giving you a second look as a group, though.
Makes sense.
Like these business people, like they just don't. But just behind you, like maybe 10, let's say 10 feet, I'll say, is the entrance where everyone walks by to go in. To put on their gear and stuff. But, like, nobody's really paying any attention to you.
Okay. When this totally no one I recognize server comes over and we take some crackers and caviar, I'm actually going to try and whisper, find out if there's anywhere the staff has been asked not to go or is not going.
I can't do that. Actually, now that you mention that, I could have sworn. So, the man who brought us in, who told us what to do, first of all, no eye contact. That's weird. But he said there was other staff that had been brought in and they were taken to other jobs, and that, correct me if I'm wrong, he said that we would serve hors d'oeuvres and stuff like that until the guests moved to the other room for the evening's festivities. And then we were not to go to that room. We weren't needed there.
Do you know where that room is?
No, I don't think he specifically said where.
As far as you know, it was back out the way they're coming in.
Okay. So...
Like, you know, they walk through a room to this room, to another room, to get robed up to this room, and then back to a room they must have already walked through, potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
which is weird, I know, but...
So yeah, I'll just say from what I've seen so far, the only place I could think of that being would be back out towards the main entrance. Maybe there's another hallway or something.
Okay. Okay.
Just because if I stay here too long, it's going to be weird. So.
that was it. He's just gonna nod and eat caviar and crackers and be like, "Why do people like this shit?"
And I'll wander back to the kitchen, I guess, for a refill of whatever.
Okay, I'm just going to say then, if that's fine, you walk back out.
Yep.
And like I said, there are some other servers and stuff, notably Betty. I'm not going to name them all. But there's not very many. But there's more, which is weird because you know that you were told that other staff were brought in, but they're going to be working on something different.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yep.
Ritual sacrifices? Gotcha.
What?
Are any of the masked guests going back through the doors that lead towards the front?
No. Not at all. They just seem to be milling around, sort of chatting business-like jargon to each other.
I have a question. And
Sure.
I'm sorry if this has already been asked, but in the room where the masks and robes were put on, there was the door that we came in from the back. Was there another entrance in that room?
Okay, so what it was there was the back entrance you came in,
Yeah.
right? And you noticed that there was a hallway. Yeah, going down so far. This, all the hooks were there, but when you had first walked in, there was no robes or stuff on those hooks. They were all gone, which led to a door, right? On this end. And that door opened up to the hallway to the kitchen, which connects to the way into that room.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. But also, opposite the door that you entered in the back door, there was another door which opened up and there was a room with a table and all the robes were hung up in this room with the masks, and then people were brought in to put it on here. And that room exits to the bar room. And also in this room, there was another door to your right.
That's what I was wondering.
Real quick, if I could just backtrack for
Sure.
2 seconds,
That's
right
okay.
before you break eye contact and leave us, Althea, after grabbing the crackers and caviar, I will nudge to you and I'll kind of like point up to the ceiling. I'll like do like a finger to the lips, just to point up to see if you notice the door.
Okay.
And then as you turn and leave, I'll actually whisper to Simon and Agatha, who are right close to us, being like, there is a weird thing in the ceiling. Just so that everyone's attention is brought to the door above us.
And I'll offer to tell Marion, since she's the only one among us who isn't here right now.
I will also offer the suggestion of going back into I think we should go back into the robe room and try the other door.
are masked guests typically going back into that room?
They're not, but like I said, it has become more of a steady stream of people going into that room. Not ones who've already in the room, but being brought through in their business suits to go put on clothes. It's getting closer to everyone starting to show up.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. This is a good idea.
And I also want to let you know that we are potentially leaving the room, essentially.
Well, let's leave Simon here.
Sure.
Let's leave
Sure.
Simon here, and then that
What?
way,
Simon's like, what?
why don't you stay with the rest of the guests? And if
That's all good.
they move rooms, you just stay with them. They
Yeah.
might be pulling us towards wherever Alistair might be.
Yeah. I mean, it's... And Simon sort of very conspiratorially, which is a weird way to say it, I guess. He sort of is like, yeah, like, these are all bozos. Like, they just seem like...
Agreed.
I mean, if this is the heart of the Silver Twilight Lodge, man.
However,
I'll just say, as Simon mentions that, and I'm going to say, strange thing though. And I'll just kind of like nod my head towards the guy who's at the other end of the bar. That jackass over there. One of two things. He either is not as rich as the others, or he's new money and they haven't accepted him yet. He definitely has been a working man in his life. And speaking as someone who, comes from old money, at some point he definitely hasn't had any. So maybe keep an eye on him as well.
Okay. And then when you bring up the idea of going back to the room there, Agatha, to go to the other door, before I even leave, I'll just be like, just so you're aware, this is so that you don't feel stranded. My intention is to find an opportunity to swap masks and get away.
Okay.
So let's, as long as we're keeping in mind that we don't want to put you in a position where you're left by yourself.
Okay.
In like an unsafe situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are going to be with me, just invisible.
Not yet.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking for the opportunity to do that. So if we're going to go to that room, and we just as a heads up, so you're not like randomly, okay, cool, peace out, bitch, bye. Just so you're aware.
If an invisible hand pats you on the shoulder.
Yeah. Don't freak out. Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I'll stay visible for now.
Yeah.
Because there's too many people without masks around that it would be a little conspicuous.
Oh,
Even.
I agree.
Keep in mind though, the people without masks are not going to question anyone they see wearing one.
So staff.
Staff will not question you, but the guests will not question you either. So it's really only the hosts, who are already wearing masks. I'm assuming all the hosts have already had masks on, or the people who seem like hosts.
You haven't seen anyone that seemed like a host, other than Mr. Reinhold,
Yeah.
whose job is to make sure this went
Yeah.
smoothly. He wasn't wearing a mask.
Yeah. 'Cause he's still technically
you
staff.
actually, it's a good point, because you technically don't really feel like you've seen a host.
So
Or
who's-
anybody high ranking? Is that
So
no?
who's taking the guests back to the room to get them robed and masked?
It seems Mr. Reinhold.
Okay.
There's a couple of times you do see, actually no, to be fair, there is a couple of times you do see a figure in robes with a mask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So to be fair, I mean, not necessarily hosts, but maybe people that aren't
Bozos?
Yeah.
bozos.
But just something to keep in mind. The guests are not going to question anyone with the mask on who looks like they belong here, and the staff aren't going to question you, period.
Good. Let's check out that room.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I will saunter off like good little staff person. And
Waitress, like a waitress.
cocktail waitress, and go back to the kitchen because one, I probably need a refill of these fish eggs, and two,
I ate a lot.
I'm going to tell Marion what we've discussed.
I ate a lot of gross fish. eggs.
And that's great. So you want to go back into the room where the robes are.
Yes.
Now there is a slight of people coming in, so you probably want to wait for that perfect moment.
Yes.
When people leave and nobody has you know what I mean? They're not being replaced, which may take a couple of minutes.
That's fine.
Right?
Nothing is seeming to press the time-sensitive nature that we're aware of.
No.
We're aware. I'm sorry.
listen.
I'm going from a
Listen.
2 to a 1.
Listen, we waited
perfect
this
sense.
long to come here.
Yeah, exactly.
right?
We can milk this
What's a
stuff.
few more minutes?
So you go back.
Bob is currently in their chair right now.
Okay, so you go back through those double doors,
Yes.
or the swinging
The
door.
swinging doors back to the kitchen.
Yeah, and there's the hallway, which then turns into the hallway with
Yeah.
the door there that leads to the back exit. Okay, I'm just trying to keep it fresh in people's minds. And then there's a hallway, and you see doors
Yep.
along the way, and you get back to the kitchen area, which is fairly large. And like I said, there was cooks and stuff like that, and people are making hors d'oeuvres, horse dovers.
What the fuck? What is this bit?
I had to explain that to someone the other day, too.
Horse divorce.
Horse divorce.
That's the best
Yay.
one.
Oh, Sedge.
Sedge. Okay. You get back to the kitchen now. Something that strikes you. Marion wasn't in that bar room.
Spatula.
Marion also isn't in here. Marion also wasn't in this hallway. You have no idea where Marion is.
Okay. So, when we came in, we were getting our instructions from Mr. Reinhold. My understanding was that me, Betty, and her were going to be working the bar room.
Yes. You don't recall her walking into the room with you. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty
No, I
sure you
walked in with
waited
Betty.
in the kitchen and then...
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, she's not here.
That's the first time Marion's done something like that.
Actually, it isn't.
And I just quietly whisper, "Oh fuck." Is there who's here in the kitchen right now?
Kitchen people.
Jesus.
There's the cooks.
Okay.
There's people...
Is there anyone from a group of what was it? 3 people that I
think there was Betty, there was Eric. I believe that was the 2 names.
Yeah.
Betty, Eric, and Roy.
Yeah.
Betty, Eric, and Roy.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So you do see Eric here.
Okay. I'll just say, Eric, have you seen Jean come in and out here? I was hoping to speak with her about not doubling up on what we're serving in the bar.
No. I was assuming that she was in the bar room with everyone else.
Oh,
Maybe she got lost. Then took the wrong door or something.
It's quite possible. This place seems like a little bit of a
Do you want me to
maze.
go look for her?
Oh no, that's okay. I'm ssure she's around. Maybe she just needed to go to a restroom or something.
Oh yeah. Fair enough.
Right. Thank you. And I'll just pick up another tray of the hors d'oeuvres and smile on my way back out through the swinging doors. And then I'll stop in the hallway going, okay. Okay, so we are in a cultist den. We're in a cultist den, and there's a lot of important people here right now. And Marion's gone. Marion's okay. If I was Marion, what would I do?
That's what you say?
I would go looking for Alistair.
Did you say it all out loud?
I'm going to say yes. But I mean, I'm going to
there's
say
no
you're
one
in the
else
hallway.
around.
I'm going to say you move into the hallway
Yes,
and then
I mean,
you have this
out
private
of the kitchen
conversation
into
with
the
yourself
hallway.
and your many personalities.
I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna
That's fair.
go look for Alistair.
It's important for the many personalities to get along.
Okay. All right. So where I'm standing in the hallway right now, there's
As you're saying, as you go look for Alistair, you hear like a little, it's almost like an inner voice. I've described this to you before, sort of in the back of your mind. And being like, she's important. And for you, she is,
very important.
she has a role to play.
She has a role.
Can you roll me a luck roll?
Oh my god.
Yes, I can.
I'm going to call for lots of luck rolls because I love luck rolls. Roll me a luck roll.
15 out of 65.
I love that luck roll.
As you're in the hallway and you're just sort of looking down the hallway. And remember I said there was doors? You notice one door, you hear a click. Out of nowhere, a click, and it slightly swings open. Just a little bit.
Thank you for listening to The Call. Our next episode will air Tuesday, February 21st, with Spacers, our sci-fi podcast, awaiting us all to get together again before recording more episodes. Please leave us a review on your podcast app of choice, and visit our main website for merch and Ko-fi information. As usual, we'd love to thank all our donators over on Ko-fi, including Josiah, Lindraska, Tavin, Eden Flynn, Flat at Fifth, Noah, Alex B, Rosa, Tyler, James, Noops D, Devil 1193, Kurt, and Alec. Music and ambient tracks licensed through Training Films and Artlist. Your players for tonight were Elizabeth Wells, Janessa Coles, Linda Delansky, and Zach Barrett. Your producer was Rob Hickey, and your GM, or Keeper, was Derek Snow. Have a good night, everyone, and we'll see you next time.